Hey, DYC Jammers. In this session, yes, you can see I'm holding a bass in my hand. A lot of you are probably going, oh no! Anyway, this session is going to be on a couple of bass lines. One that we do that some people had a question about. It'll be the same transferable to a guitar. If any guitar players are watching this, if they want to play the bass line, one of them will be the start of the song. Pretty Woman, I'm going to add that one. But I'm going to start with a Billie Jean tune that I had requests. Some people would like to do that, but I don't think it would be fair to jam it out with our bass player without giving them the correct key and the bass line to play. And that, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about our bass player, our weapon of low end, our minister of thump, our low end manipulator, the groove goblin, and our low freak, and the low freak. The first freak is FREQ. Our low freak shows up every Thursday and puts the bottom end in our group. Love the guy. Going to give him some bass lines to work with here. First one I'm starting with is Billie Jean, and it's pretty repetitive, tough bass line. And you'll see it starts on the E note, 7th fret. You'll see in the tab up in the corner. It'll be 7, 7, or E and B on the A and the E string to a D on the 5th fret of the A string. And then back to our starting note, E. So you'll see it in the tab, 7, 7, 5, 7, or E, B, D, E. That'll be like the first part. And then it ends with the first part again. Back to the D, B, which is on the 7th fret, then the 5th fret A, back to the B. So that'll be our second part, the D, B, A, B. Now you put those two parts together, and again you'll see it in the tab, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that'll be over the dun, 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 dun. And when it goes to the A minor part, all you have to do is move it down one string. So instead of starting on the 5th fret of the A, you're going to be starting on the 5th fret of the D and play the exact same riff. Back to the first one, which starts on E, the 7th fret of the A. Then it goes to C and E repeatedly. Back to the C, E, back to the C, to the E, the C, down to B, back to our riff. Okay, that's the bass line for our Billie Jean tune, which I had a request, some people wanted to do it, and then make it a little easier on our bass player. You can work on that bass line in our key. And the second one I had a couple of requests about was the Pretty Woman bass line. It's a little weird at the first where you have the, and there's that pause. Now because of that pause, it starts in what is called 6/4 time. Instead of 4/4 time, there's going to be 6 beats in that bar. So you can still count it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Now after that 2 bars of 6/4, it goes back into the 4/4 with the regular riff. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then it goes A to the F sharp minor. And that happens again at the end of the song, but I'll count that first part again. You'll see in the tab there's 2 open E's, then a 4th fret G sharp on the E, and then a B note, and then an open D. I like to play an open D. You can play a closed D on the 5th fret if you like. I like to play the open D. So that'll start with a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you'll see that riff will be the open, 4th fret on the E, 2nd fret, the B note again on the A string, the open D, but this time it ends with a 4th fret, 2nd fret open, which is F sharp, E, D. You add that to the first part of the riff that we were doing in 6/4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And guitar players, you can add that to your repertoire if you want and count it correctly, because the E, A, D, and G strings are exactly the same on the 4 lowest sounding strings on your guitar. So there, that is for our bass player. And anyone else who's entered in the bass line, interested in that, putting the bass in our face every Thursday night. I'll be back with some more tunes. Any requests? Anybody? I see I have some subscribers. I'm going to be sending out a text soon. Will be my last text. So if anybody wants other notifications, please subscribe to the channel. And then when I post a new video or videos, it will just let you know that I've posted it. And I don't have to send out the annoying text messages to everybody. So practice hard, everybody. And see you soon. Rock soon and practice hard.